MacVoices is supported by Smile, the makers of world-class software like Text Expander. Find out about all their great utilities at smilesoftware.com. Hi, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices at NAB in Las Vegas. Folks, each year I try to stop by the Drobo booth and meet some of the Drobo crew that maybe I haven't met before. This year I got to meet the Director of Products, Nick, who is here and going to tell us about some of the latest Drobo announcements. Nick, it's great to see you.
Chuck, it's great to meet you.
It absolutely is. So Drobo keeps showing up, you keep adding more features, more things. What do we have this time?
Well, like we said, this is our latest product that we've launched. It's our Drobo 5D3. It goes with 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports. It's wicked fast. It's running a speed test right here. We're getting about 800 megabytes per second reads. And again, our complete toolless design, our user manual right there, super simple to use, completely toolless. You can pop in and out drives, but just coming with Thunderbolt 3, so now you can daisy chain 2 4K displays, 1 5K display. It just has versatility like no other. And this is kind of coming down the line with a lot of our other products in our DAS side, so very simple to use, easy to products.
I've never, in all the Drobo interviews I've done, I've never heard anybody say, yeah, and our user manual is right behind there.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, it's true. I mean, that's literally all you have to do is pay attention to that. In our Drobo dashboard, you can sign up for email notifications, and that's beyond the alerts it just naturally gives you. So if you see a red drive or something that fails, you can just swap it out. I always tell people drives are like light bulbs. You know, it's not a question of if they'll fail, it's when they'll fail. And just having a red drive on hand, you can readily change it, and you just see the red light, quickly change it out, and you have nothing to worry about. I still remember today, someone came to us in the show, it was yesterday actually, and he told us about a lightning storm he had at his place, and he had one of our original Drobos about, I think, 8 years ago, had a lightning storm. The Drobo completely took it because the lightning hit the house, and he was able to recover all his data from his Drobo, and he was like appreciative so much of what we do here, and that's why we do what we do and make the easiest raids on the planet. It's simply to save those priceless memories, and that's what we really love, to make the easiest raids on the planet.
Unfortunately, you have to get burned once. It only takes once.
Absolutely.
But hard drives do fail.
Yeah.
You're right. It's not if, it's when.
Right.
And that's the sort of the secret thing about Drobo is that a drive fails. If you set it up right, even 2 drives can fail. You don't lose anything.
Yep. Yeah, that's a great thing. As well as on the personal side, we fixed a lot of things in our DroboPix app. We just recently did a big update to the DroboPix app on iOS, so we can now do any of the encoding on the new iOS 11 formats. So some PC users were having trouble with kind of the formats we were getting from the new HEIC and HEIV formats from Apple. We've made enhancements to all that, so now that's all compatible, and it's actually faster now too, and it's just a lot easier to use. It's very simple. So it's kind of your personal cloud. So.
You've also made some updates to the DroboApps and the distribution of them.
Yeah, so we just recently partnered with a company called FileShadow. A lot of customers and a lot of our creative professionals as well, huge Olympic photographers and a bunch of other people in our ambassador program, they've been wanting something to kind of link with their cloud-based solutions like Dropbox and things like that. So FileShadow allows you to create a free account on their website and download the app on our Drobo app platform. The app's coming soon to our platform within about a week or two. And they'll be able to download FileShadow, create an account, sync it to their Drobo. It automatically sees the shares that they already have on their existing Drobo and be able to link all their cloud-based accounts to the Drobo too. And their interface is actually wicked cool. It's just super simple. It has an image recognition engine in there from Google and Watson. So the back-end storage is IBM. The APIs are Google-based, but nothing gets served on the Google Cloud, but it's using the engines and APIs to auto-tag all the images too, so you'll be able to search all your images or documents just off the get-go from a web search on their web platform. So super simple to get documents up and down from Dropbox or any other cloud services you use. We've been working with them for a few months now, and we think this will be a really good upgrade for people.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. I want to make sure I understand it.
Sure.
So I've got a Drobo that's, let's just say 50% full.
Yep.
And I sign up with FileShadow, and my Drobo starts getting mirrored to FileShadow?
So you can choose how to do that. We have many models on there. A lot of models that I think more people will relate to is having like a Dropbox share or something like that. So all you do is go to your Drobo, and we recommend setting up like a share called Dropbox, and then you can know that what's syncing back and forth. One of the big things about importance of knowing where your data is knowing how to manage it. and doing a share that you're directly connected to your Dropbox share, and whatever you put in there is coming from Dropbox, so you know where all your data is going to. So we want to make it very simple for users to know where their data is and where it's living.
Got it. Okay, that's really nice, because there's a lot to be said for having all the protection that my Drobo offers. But unfortunately, my house can burn down, and there can be a flood. It can be stolen, and so having another offsite option just helps complete the process.
And for those who don't, still have the security of the cloud, we have our own built-in solution. So if you buy a secondary NAS, you can set up DroboDR. So DroboDR stands for Disaster Recovery, and within our dashboard, you can easily set that up. You have to initially set up both Drobos in the same network, and then you can take it to any other offsite location, a friend's house, an office, another home site office. So long as they're in two separate locations with internet access, we'll create a one-way sync to back up the Drobo to another Drobo. So you've got many different options, many different price points and way to protect your data on-site, off-site, and now with FileShadow, even online as well. So you just got the versatility to kind of choose the method that works best for you and what cost works best for you as well.
So how about for the new Drobo owners or the people that are looking at it?
Yeah.
They want to understand how much storage they're getting and what kind of drives they can put in, and should I buy the red drive, the green drive,
Absolutely.
the blue drive, the black drive? After a while it can become a little daunting no matter how easy you try to make it. Any tips for how to go about that process so you're picking the right thing for the right job?
So right here on our direct attached storage, we're using Barracuda Pros 7200 RPM drives. You can almost use any drive. We're really down to two manufacturers in drives. It's really Western Digital and Seagate, with a lot of variations in the Western Digital side. But you can go to our website, drobo.com, and under our resources tab, we have a capacity calculator to tell you how much capacity you're going to be using with these drives, and also a drive compatibility list, which includes almost every drive in the market. But any kind of SATA drive will work in any of our products.
One I have to ask you about, because I always get a little nervous, are the green drives.
So we currently can use green drives, but we don't recommend them. I'd rather you use something like a Barracuda Pro and a direct attached, or WD Black, or on the other side, on the networking attached side, Iron Wolf Pro or WD Red, something like that for NAS. Those you can't go wrong with. And then you also have your enterprise drives, so you can always go with enterprise drives, and you're completely safe. I always say think about the value you're putting into your Drobo and how much value it's protecting. So how much money you spend on your drives really matters, and keeping a spare drive on hand just in case you see a red light. Keep it in the anti-static bag, because you never know when a drive will fail. Keeping a drive on hand lets you have that added protection and benefit of having single disk redundancy, but having that spare drive ready to go whenever you need it. So,
well, I guarantee you right now in my email there are a dozen offers of hey, drive special, 4 terabytes for some ridiculous price.
right.
Okay, that's great, but what drive is it that I'm putting in? And the green drives always seem to be the economical ones, but the power management, I think, is the thing that concerns me with the Drobo, and that's, I guess, is that why you don't recommend using them?
Yeah, absolutely. And we look at the read-write, kind of how much read-write each drive can handle too, and we're seeing better performance with like Barracuda Pros and Iron Wolf Pros and the WD Reds and WD Blacks. So that's why we encourage everyone to go to our website and look at our drive compatibility list and kind of go from there, and you can kind of see what options you have there, and it tells you kind of better value for also drive too. But yeah, it can be a jungle out there, but if you go to our website, we make it super simple, especially also understanding how much capacity you're getting from your drive. And we always recommend doing dual disk redundancy. We know some budgets can't afford that, so you go with single, but keep a drive on hand just to kind of offset the risk of doing a single disk redundancy versus dual. And like I said, it's completely easy to do. It's completely toolless. Swap a drive in and out, and you're running. So even once rebuilding its data set, you can continue to use the Drobo. So that's one of the beautiful things about Drobo. So.
Okay, so this is one place you and I may disagree on, because I don't think dual disk redundancy is an option. I think you've got to put it on, because folks, if one drive fails, that's great, but this lets you have 2 drives that can fail and nothing happens. And yes, you have a little bit less capacity, but you have so much more protection. So I respectfully disagree on that. That's essential for me.
No, I mean, we understand that, and we would love to start with dual disk redundancy, but we understand people's budget too. But yeah, that is a good point. You want to be as protected as possible, and whatever you have on hand is what you should need to do, and protect yourself as much as you can with the data.
But I guess, to be fair, on the other hand, just the single disk redundancy is more than you have if you're just using a single hard drive.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
We've talked about plenty of people at the show here, and you won't believe how many people had horror stories where they did have a single disk and it did crash, and they lost some data for customers, and they couldn't get that back. They couldn't retrieve it, and their reputation took a little bit of a hit. And then them knowing that a Drobo can kind of take care of all that for them, and they don't have to worry about when the drive fails. They just put a new drive in and they're good to go. We had a few customers that got a scare, and that's what bought them to buy a RAID. Now, we don't want you guys to only happen then when that happens a RAID. You want to kind of use this as your insurance policy. Because it is your reputation's out there, we want to make sure you're protected with your data and you have everything ready to go.
Yeah, if you're storing your movie collection, that's one thing, and you could theoretically rebuild it, although God knows you wouldn't want to take the time to do it, but you could do it.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
when it's family photos, birthday videos, those kind of things, along with customer projects and data, no, you got to take every protection you want, and that's why the FileShadow thing is great as well.
Absolutely, it just gives you another level of ways to connect your data and protect it. Just hearing that gentleman's story of his childhood kids' photos being able to be recovered. I mean, those priceless memories. There's no price you can put on that. And even if your insurance covers your hardware, it will never bring back that data. And that's the priceless stuff. So what we do, we try and protect those priceless memories. And that's what really prides us on building the next generation of products for Drobo as well.
Well, every time you see a disaster on TV, the first thing people say is, "I've lost all my photos," and your heart breaks for them because there's no way to get it back.
Yeah, I mean, just like the wildfires we had in Napa recently and the floods in Houston, it just gives you another option to kind of have a backup somewhere else that, even if the worst happens, your Drobo's got your back.
Exactly. Well, I've said it before, and I'll say it again here. I have more Drobos than I would admit at home. I have never lost a single file on a Drobo because of any kind of failure, and that's something I can't say about any other device. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. I mean, we're just here to show everyone that we're the easiest to use RAID on the planet, and with us, you don't have to think about your data. Your data's safe with us, and you just continue with your life.
For the folks that want to go to the website, learn all about this, see the tools that you have there, the new applications and everything. The Drobos, site is.
Yeah. Drobo.com. You can find everything on there. We have resources tabs, support tabs, kind of anything you need to know about our product lineup. You can compare us against any of our competitors. We'll show you that we're the simplest and easiest to use RAID out there with completely no tools required. So.
Nick, it's good to see you or meet you.
Yeah.
Finally, thanks so much for the time.
Absolutely. It's great to meet you as well.
Folks, we'll have more from NAB in Las Vegas. I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our MacVoices Facebook group and get more out of your Apple Tech with MacVoices magazine, free on Flipboard. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us at patreon.com/MacVoices and join these folks who help keep MacVoices coming to you. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.